For decades, people have believed that clogged arteries are simply an unavoidable part of aging, something that sneaks up slowly and only reveals itself in moments of crisis. Yet few realize that the very foods capable of transforming arterial health are already sitting quietly in their kitchens, overlooked and underestimated. This idea challenges the assumption that only medications or medical procedures can influence cardiovascular health. Instead, it shifts attention to the incredible power of natural ingredients, foods so ordinary that they are often dismissed as too simple to make a difference. The hidden danger is that arterial plaque builds silently for years, robbing the body of vitality long before a major health event occurs. Energy wanes, memory falters, and even small daily activities become more exhausting. But these early warnings are frequently ignored. What makes this problem even more urgent is that nearly everyone has access to the tools to reverse it, yet very few take advantage of them. The irony is striking. While people spend money on supplements and treatments that promise results, the real solution may already be in the refrigerator or pantry, waiting to be used. Scientific evidence confirms that some common foods can reduce inflammation, dissolve small deposits, and restore flexibility to the blood vessels, making circulation stronger and more efficient. The question is not whether these foods work, but whether people will finally recognize their value and make the choice to use them before it is too late. Arterial disease is one of the most silent yet deadly conditions a person can face. And what makes it so frightening is how quietly it develops. For years, plaque builds inside the arteries without pain or obvious warning, gradually narrowing the space through which blood flows. At first, the body compensates, and many dismiss the subtle signs like occasional fatigue, shortness of breath after climbing stairs, or a heaviness in the chest when stressed. These moments are easy to ignore, often attributed to age, stress, or lack of exercise, but in reality they may be early cries for help from the circulatory system. As arteries continue to narrow, the risk grows not only for heart attacks, but also for strokes, sudden cardiac arrest, and long-term damage to organs that depend on healthy circulation. The fear intensifies when one realizes that these events often happen suddenly, with no chance to prepare. A person can feel fine one day and collapse the next, their life altered in a matter of minutes. Families are left devastated, wondering if there was something they could have done earlier to prevent it. This sense of helplessness feeds the anxiety around cardiovascular disease, especially for those over 50, who know their risk is climbing with every year that passes. The thought of a clogged artery hiding unseen inside the body creates a lingering dread, a feeling that no matter how careful one is, disaster might strike at any moment. This fear becomes heavier when people believe the only way to fight it is through invasive procedures or lifelong medications. Yet what makes the problem even more dangerous is the widespread belief that nothing can be done at home, that the kitchen holds no power against such a serious condition. This false assumption leaves many vulnerable, accepting their fate while the disease progresses in silence. When it comes to protecting the arteries, many people unknowingly sabotage their own efforts through everyday mistakes that seem harmless on the surface. One of the most common errors is relying heavily on processed foods, believing that quick meals labeled as low-fat or heart-healthy are safe choices. In reality, these foods often contain hidden sugars, excess sodium, and artificial additives that quietly contribute to inflammation and plaque buildup. Another widespread mistake is the overuse of refined oils and fried foods, which coat the arteries in harmful fats that stiffen and narrow the vessels over time. Many people also underestimate the damage caused by skipping meals and then overeating later in the day, a pattern that spikes blood sugar and stresses the circulatory system. A further trap is the dependence on medications alone, with the belief that pills can compensate for an unhealthy diet. While medications play a role, they do not erase the damage caused by poor nutrition, and this false sense of security often prevents people from making meaningful lifestyle changes. Some fall into the habit of avoiding fruits, vegetables, and natural foods entirely, claiming they are too expensive, too time-consuming, or simply not satisfying. In doing so, they deprive the body of the natural antioxidants and fibers that clean the bloodstream and support vascular health. Even those who try to improve often focus only on exercise, forgetting that clogged arteries cannot be outrun if the daily diet continues to fuel the problem. Perhaps the most dangerous mistake of all is assuming that small indulgences do not matter, that a little fast food here or a sugary snack there cannot do real harm. Over years, these choices accumulate quietly until the arteries are burdened beyond repair. What ties all these errors together is the belief that health requires complicated solutions, when in truth it often comes down to the simplest daily decisions made in the kitchen. One of the most overlooked but powerful foods for arterial health is garlic, a simple ingredient found in nearly every kitchen around the world. For centuries, it has been used in traditional medicine, yet many dismiss it today as nothing more than a flavor enhancer. The truth is that garlic contains compounds like allicin that directly influence the cardiovascular system by reducing harmful cholesterol, lowering blood pressure, and even helping to dissolve small deposits that cling to the arterial walls. What makes garlic unique is its ability to relax blood vessels, improving circulation and allowing blood to flow more freely. Scientific studies confirm that regular consumption of garlic can reduce the risk of heart disease, but the effect is most powerful when it becomes a daily habit rather than an occasional addition. Despite its proven benefits, people often underestimate it because it is inexpensive and readily available, assuming that something so common cannot possibly be effective. Yet this simplicity is exactly what makes it so valuable, because it requires no prescription, no complicated regimen, only the decision to include it consistently in meals. Garlic works best when it is fresh, chopped, or lightly crushed, as this activates the natural compounds that provide its healing effect. Even small amounts incorporated into salads, soups, or cooked dishes can gradually support the body's natural ability to clean the bloodstream and protect the heart. Unlike many artificial solutions, garlic works in harmony with the body, targeting inflammation and oxidative stress that are at the root of arterial damage. This quiet, steady influence builds strength over time, offering a shield against the silent progression of disease. In a world where people search for miracle cures, the real miracle may already be sitting unnoticed on the kitchen counter, waiting to be used with intention and consistency. Another powerful yet underestimated food for arterial health is ginger, a root known for its sharp flavor and warming qualities, but often overlooked for its medicinal strength. Ginger contains potent bioactive compounds like gingerol and shogol, which target inflammation, one of the primary drivers of arterial plaque and vascular stiffness. By calming the inflammatory processes within the body, ginger helps keep arteries flexible and reduces the risk of dangerous blockages. It also has a natural blood-thinning effect, supporting smooth circulation and lowering the chances of clot formation that can lead to heart attacks or strokes. What makes ginger remarkable is its versatility. It can be grated into teas, blended into smoothies, added to soups, or used as a spice in everyday cooking, making it easy to weave into daily routines without drastic lifestyle changes. Regular use of ginger not only protects arteries, but also aids digestion, stabilizes blood sugar, and enhances overall vitality, creating a ripple effect of benefits throughout the body. Scientific evidence supports its ability to lower triglycerides and LDL cholesterol, both of which are linked to arterial damage, while raising protective HDL cholesterol. Despite these advantages, many people treat ginger as a seasonal or occasional ingredient, failing to recognize the long-term value of consistent consumption. Like garlic, its true power comes not from one-time use, but from daily integration into meals and drinks. Its warming nature improves circulation in even the smallest vessels, ensuring that oxygen and nutrients reach tissues more effectively. The result is a stronger, more resilient cardiovascular system supported by a natural ingredient that has been used in traditional healing practices for centuries. In a world filled with synthetic solutions, ginger remains a timeless reminder that nature often provides the most effective medicine, hidden in plain sight and waiting to be embraced. When garlic and ginger are combined, their effects on cardiovascular health multiply in a way that neither food could achieve alone. Garlic's sulfur compounds actively lower blood pressure, reduce LDL cholesterol, and dissolve small deposits that cling to artery walls, while ginger's anti-inflammatory and circulation-enhancing properties ensure that blood flows freely and nutrients are delivered efficiently throughout the body. Together, they form a natural defense system that fights plaque, reduces clotting risks, and restores arterial flexibility. This combination not only targets the physical blockages within the vessels, but also addresses the underlying causes of damage such as chronic inflammation, oxidative stress, and poor lipid balance. Consumed consistently, the duo creates a protective shield for the heart and brain, lowering the chances of heart attacks, strokes, and other vascular events that often strike without warning. The body responds to this natural pairing with noticeable changes. Energy levels rise as oxygen delivery improves, mental clarity sharpens with better circulation to the brain, and fatigue caused by sluggish blood flow begins to fade. Even the skin reflects the benefits, appearing healthier as blood nourishes every cell more efficiently. The simplicity of the practice is striking. A small daily ritual of adding fresh garlic and ginger to meals, teas, or morning tonics can set into motion a powerful transformation that pharmaceuticals often attempt to replicate. Unlike synthetic drugs that carry side effects, these foods harmonize with the body, supporting multiple systems at once. The result is not an overnight miracle, but a steady, cumulative strengthening of the cardiovascular system that becomes more apparent with each passing week. For many, the quiet combination of these kitchen staples represents not just a dietary choice, but a lifeline to vitality, resilience, and protection against the silent threats that build up over years unnoticed. The time has come to move from knowledge to action, because information alone does not change health, habits do. The simple truth is that the foods capable of protecting arteries and restoring circulation are already within reach, waiting to be used daily rather than occasionally. Garlic and ginger are not exotic ingredients that require complicated preparation or rare sourcing. They are staples in kitchens around the world. Adding them into daily routines can be as effortless as incorporating them into soups, stews, teas, or morning drinks, yet the effects compound with consistency and commitment. Every day without action allows silent damage to progress, narrowing arteries and increasing the risks that most people only recognize when it is too late. Change begins with small, decisive steps. Crushing a clove of garlic in the morning, slicing fresh ginger into hot water, or seasoning a meal with both elements. These little adjustments, repeated over weeks and months, build an invisible shield against the greatest threats of aging. It is important to remember that prevention is always easier and safer than repair. The body thrives on what it is given regularly, not on occasional fixes, and choosing these foods daily is choosing vitality, clarity, and strength over decline and fear. No one else can make this decision. No pill or doctor's visit can substitute for the discipline of consistent nourishment. The call is not for drastic change, but for a conscious shift, an embrace of what nature has already offered. By acting today, by starting with one simple ritual, the path toward healthier arteries, sharper energy, and lasting protection opens. Waiting carries risks that cannot be undone, but action now plants the seeds of resilience for years to come.